Hey fam, it's Miss Keira here for another life lesson. I decided that I wanted to share another one with you all today. So hope you are ready for it because I am going to drop it anyway. Y'all know me, that's how I do. So are you ready for life lesson number 2? All right, here it is. Go before you're ready because being immediately great just isn't a thing. That's it. That's the life lesson. You can totally leave now, because everything that I share after this is literally just to add proof to that one single idea. So let me tell you something about myself. I don't like admitting it. I don't love admitting it, but it is my truth. It's my lived experience, so I'm going to share it with you. When I was younger, I quit piano. Not a big deal, right? Okay, you'll get it. I quit piano not because I didn't like music. I absolutely love music and I wanted to play, but I wanted to like skip the important parts, actually play the songs that I actually cared about without learning the fundamentals because I thought it was boring and slow and I didn't want to sit in that phase. At another time in my life, I quit dance. I walked into that room and I was clearly the least experienced in there. Everyone else seemed to know the routines and could perform the twirls and all of that. And I didn't know the stuff and I couldn't do the things. And instead of staying and learning, I left. And then there was track. I really was an athletic person. So I thought that was going to be great, but I did track and my legs were on fire. And then on top of that, they put me in a race and I lost. Like I genuinely lost and I was so embarrassed. So I walked away from that too. Those were very different seasons in my life, very different activities, and I had seemingly different reasons, at least on the surface, for not continuing. But when I actually looked at the pattern reflection, right, now that I'm older and wiser, it was literally the same thing every single time. The fact of the matter was, I didn't like not being good at something. I didn't like feeling discomfort. I didn't like feeling behind. And I really didn't like the idea that someone else was going to watch me struggle and possibly judge me for that, right? I didn't like not being good because I needed to feel like I had it all under control. So rather than push through that phase, I just removed myself from it and I quit. And I want to be honest with you here. I haven't completely outgrown that habit. It's still there. It's still something that I have to check myself on. But I've learned enough now to know and recognize what that pattern is and what it actually cost you or cost me in that scenario. So I wanted to share that life lesson with you because I'm speaking from experience here. Now, here's what I think a lot of people believe, even if they've never said it out loud, like I just did with you, right? I think they believe that they need to feel ready before they start. And if it feels hard, uncomfortable, or awkward, that probably that thing, it's really a sign that it's not for them. That's the belief. And it feels reasonable at the time. It even may feel responsible at the time, but it's costing them more than they realize. Confidence doesn't come first. Comfort doesn't come first. Clarity doesn't come first. None of those things come first. You don't start with those things. What comes first is the repetition. What comes first is staying, especially when you don't want to. What comes first is trying again after it didn't go the way that you pictured. Discipline, consistency, those things come first. Now, this is not a motivational idea. It is literally how people build skills and get great at the things that they have chosen to do and to spend their time on. What's actually happening here? There's a book that I read a while back that stuck with me, and the author was talking about wanting to be a runner. Not just, I want to run every now and then. They wanted to be someone who like looked like a runner, was doing the 5Ks and traveling all over the place and running, with their group, with the easy stride and the strong posture and the, nice fit. They wanted to look like they were a runner, that it was effortless. And what he realized was that he wasn't actually drawn to just the running. It was the image of someone who had already figured out how to be a runner and had that identity kind of on them. But what he wasn't seeing was the lifestyle. He didn't see how early they had to wake up every day. He didn't see the discipline in what they ate or the days that they didn't feel like going but went anyway, the amount of water that they had to drink. He only saw the result. And so he ended up comparing his beginning to someone else's middle or someone else's end. And I think we do that a lot as just society. We constantly compare. Think about like the Olympic athletes. They train for years, sometimes a decade or more, just to compete for a few minutes. Sometimes in some races, competitions, it's just a few seconds. And we watch them in awe as they win, right? But we don't see the 10,000 reps that made them the kind of person that could show up and win in that way. So here's the part that I really want you to sit with. Great people, they didn't start ready. None of them did. None of them did. I can tell you, take it to the bank, go to anybody who's doing something awesome, and they'll tell you they didn't start ready. They didn't start great. They became ready because they kept showing up before they were. So if there's something that you have been maybe tinkering around, circling, something you keep telling yourself that you will start when you feel more prepared or when you maybe not just feeling prepared, but maybe not looking as lost, or when you've caught up to everybody else, that you'll keep going, here's what I'd actually suggest. Go now, but go small. Do it now, but start small. Don't wait for the big moment of inspiration or confidence. Pick the smallest version of that action and do it today. Then do it tomorrow. Then the day after that. Stay longer than your discomfort is telling you to. That feeling of wanting to leave the room or stop doing that activity, that's not a signal that you're in the wrong place or that you can't be great. That's usually a single signal that you're right on the edge of learning something or doing something amazing. So focus on getting better, not just being good. Good and better are very different targets. Let me explain. Good is fixed. It's a fixed point. You either hit it or you don't. Better is movement, forward progress. And movement is something you can do every day. So stop waiting on feeling ready. Don't make that the goal. That's not a real destination because you build readiness by moving forward, by going, not the other way around. When I was younger and my mom was alive, she used to say something to me that maybe I didn't fully process at the time. I liked it because it was easy to remember. It had like a rhyme and rhythm to it, and it sounded amazing. And she would, just whisper it or say it casually. She would say, good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is your better and your better is your best. You might have heard me say this before in previous episodes, but it's something that I honestly believe right now. But at the time, I heard it. I didn't understand what she was actually telling me yet. She wasn't talking about perfection. She wasn't saying you have to be the greatest at everything you touch. She was talking about movement. Maybe she saw me stop a lot of things, and this was her way of kind of refocusing me and sharing with me what was important. She was saying, wherever you are right now, that's not the ceiling. There's always a next level. And the only way to reach it is to keep going from where you actually are, not from where you wish you were. That's what I've seen in people who actually build skills, careers, that walk around with this confident air about them, that have seemingly opportunities placed at their feet. The common thread isn't talent. It's not because they are better than you. It's not even perfect timing. It's not passion. Honestly, it's that they moved before they felt prepared. They built that as a habit. They stepped forward when it was awkward and uncomfortable, when they didn't have it all figured out, right? So they said yes more than they said no. And they stayed long enough to actually become better at something. People notice who stay in the room and who step forward, not because they're the most impressive or the most talented, but because most people are still waiting to feel ready before they say yes. And these people decided not to. And that is impressive. And I hope you can become one of those people. I hope I can become one of those people. I definitely have learned that lesson in various stages of my life. So Go before you're ready. Life lesson number two, let your good become your better, and let your better become your best, because ready isn't coming first. You got to earn it with discipline and consistency. As I'm thinking about it, I also realized that maybe I should get back to exercising today. Even though I already know my legs are going to hurt me tomorrow and I won't feel immediately good, but I got to take my own medicine. So I'm going to do that. So have an amazing day, fam. Peace out.